from any country. So that is basically what we are trying to solve in Mayaza.
So is Mayaza just limited to Africa, or is it like a global brand?
For the meantime, we are trying to build for Africa. So probably in future, I mean, you never can tell. We can try to connect to the whole world. But let's start from where we
All
are
right, because I would
coming
like to
from.
see it.
Because I want to really
Okay.
talk about the features of the Mayaza.
Okay.
Are there cards? Is it very easy? I mean, we know some of these fintech companies that have
Yeah.
things, and sometimes you find out that there are people who need to, you have to be literate to access it.
Yeah.
So you're building for Africa,
Yeah.
but is it accessible to everybody? The rural woman in the community who cannot read, is it speaking to her? Is it something that she can use for her small tomato farm? Or it was just for, you know, the Gen Zs and people who are the elites?
Okay, so not really, not really. We have everybody in mind while we are
Okay.
building. So for the local person, I'm sorry to use the word local, for the person that sells tomatoes,
Yeah.
we intend to have features that can help them save, can help them plan their businesses properly and plan their budgeting. Then for the meantime, we have cards, and I mean, you can tell that making international payment with card has been a problem since 2020 or so. And for the meantime, we have cards that helps people make international payment, which is live. Yeah, and we intend to build for everybody in Africa, everybody down to the Gen Alphas, Millennials, Gen Zs, and every other person. Yeah.
I
All
like that you
right.
spoke about
Okay,
that.
so I'm curious. You've been in the software space for almost a decade now.
Almost.
So how
Yes.
in what ways has tech in Africa evolved during this time?
Yeah. So 8 years ago, it was very difficult to get hold of resources. You have to know somebody that knows somebody that probably is already in the space to help you out with basic things as tutorials to learn something as simple as HTML. But over the years, communities have been built. You have a lot of ecosystem in almost every cities right now in the country.
Yeah.
So even down to school, down to campuses. I mean, I started off in the campus, and I remember when I left my school, we had a growing community that had young persons trying to learn tech, and we made sure resources were readily available. I was fortunate to have a mentor who I remember he gave me a hard drive of over 80 gig worth of videos.
Okay.
And while I was leaving, I had to make sure I had that. But now currently we have Google and Meta, who are already in the space of building communities, so they have resources. So it's amazing to see that you don't necessarily need to know somebody to learn anything. You could just go on YouTube, you could just join a community on Twitter, Discord, or even Slack channels that could help you out. Anything. And they are almost amazing platform right now that are even offering free training for persons on the online space. So you necessarily don't have to know anybody, like unlike where I came from, that you have to either you are studying computer science and then you know somebody that is studying computer science that is already into tech and the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, there's AI.
Yeah,
there's
because
AI.
in fact, that's even my next question. We all agree that AI is changing the narrative today. And some people are even worried that a lot of people in the tech space may want to rely on AI automatically. I mean, we're talking about it on the other segment there.
Yeah.
But how are you seeing AI impacting the fintech space? How are you seeing that? Because is it about to take over? Should we be worried that AI will take our jobs, for instance? Will we now start going to banks and we'll see robots
robots.
Welcoming us, assisting
Because
us, because it's coming along.
it's beautiful that we are seeing AI shaking the space.
Yeah.
But what we are worried about is more than just enhancing the job. Won't it take this job? And if that's the case, how will it impact the fintech industry?
First of all, AI is a tool, and for every tool, there have to be somebody behind handling the
Exactly.
tool. So I don't think it can take everybody's job. And AI helping in the fintech space, it's something that you can't miss because it helps to detect frauds. So, for example, you are building a fintech space and you have a lot of people coming in doing transactions. With AI, you can be able to detect fraud from a certain sequence of transaction that
Yeah.
come in, and so that helps very well to make the fintech space very secure.
Okay.
And with also AI also help in a lot of different things like budgeting. There are a lot of people that still have issues with budgeting, and with AI in the fintech space, you could make it easy for someone to budget, to save, and have even a better saving plan. So I feel we should just be open to the idea that AI has come to be to help our lives, not to take over.
I mean, I
jobs.
second that. I completely agree with you. I feel like, for me, I think AI makes the job easier.
Yes, you can say
So you agree with me when I say AI has actually helped you and people in the tech space?
Yeah, so yesterday when I was trying to put one or things together, I
Yeah.
was asking my friend, where was ChatGPT when I was in school? Because
I asked the same question this
That's what we
morning.
spoke about today.
so because it was very easy for me to come up with articles, come up with writing.
Yeah.
I just had to imagine myself writing a full project and having AI give me one or two suggestions. So, I mean, it's a tool that is helping. So
But
we
there's
can't
also a
deny
place for
that.
originality. So while you're wondering where ChatGPT was, I mean, you were original, so it was better.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
you think so? That's the
Yeah,
problem.
it was better. So the even at that time, we still had you still had some things you go online to. You still had to search on something on Google and probably copy. Now AI is a tool, like I said. How you use it is what determines the
Matters.
results. Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, I agree with you when you said AI has actually helped and it has enhanced our work.
Yeah.
People say AI helps you think.
Or some people even say it thinks for you.
It thinks for you. So
And
like,
it's really
and it's a
crazy.
man's best friend right now. But then
Better
again,
than dog.
But, well, Siwa, you've been doing this for a while
Yeah.
as a co-founder. But I understand that for a lot of young people are looking to also become co-founders or founders or start something, there must be habits or a mindset that they must cultivate, you know, to be able to build something. And sometimes that's lacking. So yes, brilliant idea, but what do you need to do? What spaces do you need to be in to follow through with that dream, with that vision?
Okay. First, I would say be curious.
Okay.
Curiosity would help you innovate, help you evolve your ideas and the rest. Then, and I also say you have to be resilient in whatever you are doing because
yeah.
it's never going to be easy. There's probably at the ending, the end of the journey, there's great reward. But before you get to that place, there's going to be a lot of hurdles, and resilience is the only thing that can help you stay focused or stay be able to evaluate your setbacks and keep growing, and have empathy in whatever you are doing. Just try as much as possible to build for the people. Don't be selfish at whatever you are doing, and just have a bigger dream at the end of the day.
All right, but is this like an advice you give to younger tech savvies, tech guys, tech girls, you know, that want to go into the tech space?
Okay, for the younger people that want to go into the tech space, the way you say this younger makes me feel old.
No, I mean when we say younger, it's younger in knowledge, younger in the
knowledge,
I mean, you've
experience,
been in this-
younger in the skill.
You've been doing this for almost...
So it's not necessarily about the
Yeah.
age biologically, no.
Okay, yeah, I get it. I was just joking. First, think big,
Okay.
but start small. A lot of persons want to start big. You mean you get to meet somebody that wants to learn tech, and they are trying to tell you that, oh, if I don't have a MacBook, come on, you can start off with something small,
Yeah.
and have it in mind that it's not a get rich quickly scheme. So you have to build. You need to give yourself enough time to learn and grow, and trust the learning process. Basically, that's what I'll just try to say. Just trust that you are learning and growing. Make sure whatever it is you are doing, you are able to gain knowledge. Everybody you meet should you should be should help you out in whatever you are doing. So the knowledge you are going to meet. So if you are meeting somebody, you have to look out to learn from the person or everything. And join communities, make friends, have a mentor if you can. If you can have access to having a mentor, but it's advisable to have a mentor. Yeah.
Okay, I like that you spoke about communities, but I think that's something that's really lacking, especially in the social media age. I mean, we have online communities, but a lot of people would rather be in isolation. They'd rather, just be on their own and, go through things. So, what do we need to talk about now? My next question to you is, startups in Africa struggle with scaling.
Okay.
The struggle with scaling, that's been a major problem. What are the lessons that you've learned so far with My Aza, or what are the success stories so far? Is scaling also a problem? Is it a general problem for startup? Because if it is a general problem, many people will be afraid to start up. Or even dream bold, like you're saying, dream big.
Yeah.
But why should I dream big if I'll have to struggle to keep my dream afloat?
Scaling is a thing in every industry, and your ability to be focused with your goals helps you make decisions better. So the scaling thing in the startup thing has to be, is, I would say it's personal, because I can't tell you that this is how it's going to be,
Yeah.
and when you start, it's not going to be that way. So there are a lot of communities, or there are a lot of people, like right now, Africa is at the forefront of things. We have investors trying to come into to bring money into Africa. So if you are able to position yourself right, be in the right accelerator program, because there are a lot of accelerator programs out there for startup founders, unlike before, where fundings, where all these things are scarce. Right now, even Google, Meta, they are trying to have programs that come into Africa. So Mahaza's success story is wild to start saying, because it started from just two of or three of us, and then we had to start looking for people to help us first see the dreams. I mean, we started funding it from our own pockets, and along the line we were able to access one or two grants that helped us scale on a bigger level. But the main thing is that your ability to sell your dreams is what is going to bring attention to you.
All right. I like the fact that you talked about how you started
Yeah.
and all of that, because most of when I interview young entrepreneurs, I always like to ask this question: how you started. There's so many people with dreams and all of these things, but it ends up being just dreams.
Yeah.
They don't put it into action because of little or no
No,
funds.
yeah.
So I'm guessing you were fortunate enough to.
I mean, I was working at the time,
Okay.
so, and I think I would say I had some funds that I didn't have use for, so it was easy for me to divert. Okay, I want to build something, so let me start budgeting toward this. And I had friends that were like, oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, this makes sense. So let's start building it. So it's a unique thing for me. I don't know how many persons have that privilege, but most times, if you have a dream, I would say you should be able to sell your dream to the next person. If I have a dream and I can't sell it to my sister or my brother at home, then I really don't think I'm going to be able to sell it to a stranger. So most times you just need to work on yourself, work on your communication skills, so that you can be able to sell your dreams better.
What of situations where you come to even your family,
Yeah.
and they be like, oh please, what does it do to your confidence?
Have you even experienced those kind of resistance?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I remember when we started My Aza, initially, I had tough time trying to explain it to people, or what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
I was always like, oh, we are trying to solve, when you go to Ghana right now, you cannot send money. And he looked at me, and he's a friend. He looked at me and was like, are you sure this thing will sell? Don't you think Paystack is doing this already? I'm like, yeah, but they're not doing it the way. It's like, don't worry, just try and find something else. Well, it made me go back to think, and okay, I now at this point I know that I had to call my co-founder and like, look at what this person just said to me, and what do you think? How can we? So that way we started going. We went back to our drawing board, and I remember we were still designing at that time, so we had to call the designer. I'm like, okay, so can we change this to this, and this, and with time, it helps shape the idea. What we have now is not necessarily what we started with as an idea.
Keeps
So
adjusting.
with the questions people put to us kept helping us adjust. I remember even when we were pitching, we've had a pitch deck with someone from US, and he just looked at us and told us, "Do you know Gray?" We said yes. We said, "This is what Gray is doing. So why am I here?"
Oh,
And that
wow.
was how the call ended.
Wow.
So it's crazy because the only thing I know that kept us was that we're evolving the ideas. We're not static to what we had in mind. So we're being dynamic. Okay, when we get a new thing, we're trying to, and we later on found our niche. And I think we are just trying to stick to that for the meantime.
I love that. And it's working. But how did you come up with the
That's,
name My Aza? Was it like you just sat down like, oh, My Aza?
No, it actually
Just as a-
evolved from. So first, we were looking for a name that resonated with people in Nigeria.
Okay.
The youth. I mean, my other, and then we had concerns with it being associated with fraud and the rest because
Yeah.
I mean we know Aza is a popular thing for the. So it started off with my Aza man, but we thought of it in a gender role. If I'm a woman and I want to use my as a man, it does not
I'll
really
be,
make
okay,
sense.
maybe
So
it's a man
let's,
thing.
yeah, it's a man thing.
Let me look for a woman then.
So let's look for something, and then but this time personalize it, and that was how we came up with the my
Alright.
Aza. So trying to personalize your
Okay.
wallet or your account.
All right. So my next question to you would be, how has it been operating in the Nigerian terrain? I know it's something that is for the African continent, but how has it been operating in Nigeria before we even talk about the whole continent?
It's difficult. It was difficult initially starting because people didn't want to partner with us. Like first when you go to I remember we had a meeting with a particular big fintech I wouldn't like to name,
Okay.
and they told us, you don't have license, we can't work with you for not having license. And we went in.
Is this license supposed to come from the
From
government?
CBN.
CBN, okay.
And we went to check how much to get this particular license they were talking about. They were telling us you have to bring 100 million. Like,
Ooh,
to
For
get a
startup.
license?
for startup?
I mean, if
That's
I have 100 million, I'm not sure we would be doing this at the moment. So, so we had to start. It bothered us for a long until we came around with a particular partner. I was like, oh yeah, we have this license. You can just be on our platform, and anytime someone asks you of this license, just tell them we have it covered. And that was what helped us initially to start building and start establishing. So licensing is a thing for young startups that want to do fintech, and I really, really pray that the government try to see that people are
Sure.
trying to innovate things or make this banking
Sure.
system easy. So maybe they come with a little niche to help people.
So maybe like a category.
Yeah, a category for them, like, okay, you're a startup, okay, just do this, just so that they can regulate things. Because regulation is very important.
It is. Nobody would
in the
trust
make
you
sense. Yeah, yeah.
if you're not properly regulated by the government.
Yes.
So I think it's very key. But is it the process that it's difficult, or is it the amounts to pay?
Well, I didn't start the process because I didn't have the
Okay,
amount, so I can't really say. I don't know how long it takes. I think it takes time because I know of, I think Finca tried getting a license, and it took them a lot of time before they could even get that banking license, even with the money they have. But I mean, so I'm sure even with your money, there will still be one or two little stress here and there.
Well, we're also hoping that innovation gets into those
Yeah.
sectors to make things,
Easier.
easier. Darius, you have any other question?
I think I've said it all. What's like the vision for My Aza going forward? Like, what do you want from My Aza in the next 10 years?
I think I started saying Mahaza. We want to see Mahaza be the Revolut of Africa. First of all,
Okay.
making sure that you don't have a problem with transacting anywhere in Africa, and we also want to see Mahaza be your daily daily banking app. So you want to do anything down from savings to budgeting to making payments internationally, locally. We want you to, once you think of anything like that, think of Mayaza.
The part making payment internationally, because
Yeah.
we have families abroad and sometimes we've struggled with that.
Yeah.
So if there's an app that can help us make payment internationally,
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
Yeah,
I'm down for it.
Those are part of the problems we are solving, because I know a lot of people that even try to pay school fees for their kids abroad.
Yeah.
Those are all the things we have been looking at to solve, and by God's grace, we are getting there.
All right.
Absolutely. Do you have any last words?
Last words. Watch out for my eyes.
It's very important to us because we at Idea Television are very key on innovation. We are very key on technology that is eruptive, something that's out of the box.
Okay.
That's why we had you here to talk about something that's doing something unique for Africa. All right, so thank you for sharing your insights with
Thank you
us.
very
It's been a
much.
pleasure with you.
All right, thank you.
All right, so our viewers, as Fintech in Africa continues to evolve, it is voices like yours that remind us the power of innovation, you watching this, and of course, that guest. So everyone watching, I hope that this conversation sparks something new in you and the courage to build something that truly makes a difference. Of course, don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms at Idea Television. My name is Chinatu Ojanet. It's been a pleasure to have CY and Dearest. I'm going to say bye for now.